So I'm watching ESPN, and they asked the question, is adding Chris Paul the right move for the Warriors? Stephen A. took a nice little take on it. Let's see what he had to say.
I don't like this from a basketball standpoint. Let me get the business part out of the way. You got over $400 million in salary. Obviously, this is a business move. It wasn't just a business move, but when you think about the numbers that they've got to deal with and the fact that next year they'll be in a position to get as much as $25 million under the tax. You're looking at it from a business perspective and understanding this was primarily a business move. Obviously, Chris Paul's going to get his $30.8 million next year. His salary is not guaranteed. You can do what you want with him. It's a very, very attractive commodity to have in terms of moving a contract down the line before the trading deadline, or dare I say even next summer. So all of those things played a role, not to mention the fact in their mind, Chris Paul is going to be somebody that stabilizes their second unit from the standpoint of being on the court with the Kumingas of the world and others, cutting down on some turnovers, obviously, which has plagued Golden State. I get all of that.
Oh, I completely agree with you. He's definitely going to come in and start on the second team. They got rid of Jordan Poole. You know, he's going to come off the bench because you can't have Chris Paul and Steph Curry in at the same time. There'll be too much of a defensive liability. He's going to come in with that second team. He's going to ball out, hold it down, way better than Jordan Poole does. I definitely agree with that.
I just agree with Tim Legler. I don't see how this makes it better, and I don't see how it's an ideal fit. If I remember correctly, I think the Warriors were number 1 in pace of play this year. The Phoenix Suns was like at 22nd, if I remember correctly. I got to look that up. Yeah, so I'm sitting there, I'm looking at them, I'm like, really? That's what you're doing? This doesn't seem to make much sense. Not to mention the fact that we know that Chris Paul has been perpetually injured. He's missed about 12 postseason games. In 5 playoff series that he's got injured, it's impacted his team because they've lost 4 of the 5 series that.
Well, okay, pace of play, that's okay, that's cool. That's true. But pace of play doesn't equal championship. Think about it. Who is on top right now in pace of play? The Warriors, the Lakers, the Sacramento Kings. They didn't win a championship. Chris Paul being there, he'll be formidable with that second team. Even if he slows them down, he'll still be highly, highly effective. Also, too, by him not having to start, that's going to preserve him a lot longer, a lot better for the playoffs. So hopefully by the time the playoffs come, he will be healthy and he won't be injured. And hopefully he could be there for that hopefully he could be there for that Golden State team come playoff times because he'll be healthy with less minutes coming in off the bench.
Playoff series that he's got injured in. And now you're talking about transferring from a team, from a style of play where it's the bottom third to going up to a team number 1 in pace of play. We know primarily most of those injuries were hamstring injuries. I don't even know if he'll last. I'm just looking at the Golden State Warriors and I'm saying to myself, really? Now, I'm not going to get into the Jordan Poole things too much. I know that Chris Paul is 14 years older than Jordan Poole. I know that Jordan Poole definitely wanted his shine in Washington. He's going to get that because he'll be the primary offensive option, one would argue. But I just looked at this and I just said, really, that's the move that you?
Well, when you think about it, it's obvious. Yeah, Chris Paul is 14 years older than Jordan Poole, but the NBA is a win now. Not necessarily NBA, but Golden State is a win now type of team. They got Steph Curry. He's ready to go right now. He's in his prime. You got Klay Thompson. He's ready to go right now. He's in his time. They got to make moves right now to win a championship. And Chris Paul, adding them to the team and to make them a little bit better. If I had to take one player right now, either Chris Paul or Jordan Poole right now to win a championship, to help my team win a championship, I'm taking Chris Paul. Jordan Poole, trash this whole year, especially in the playoffs. He became super shaky, and they were super shaky on the road because they didn't have a consistent player, like Chris Paul.
I thought they needed some more size. I didn't think that this was what they needed. I don't think it's an ideal fit. I don't think that it's going to make them better or more of a championship contender. Certainly it's not going to make them worse because Chris Paul doesn't make teams worse. Anywhere he goes, the team is always better.
You just said it right now yourself. Chris Paul doesn't make teams worse. He's going to come and make them a better team. So I don't know what Stephen A. talking about. I disagree with Stephen A. Chris Paul going to go to Golden State Warriors, make them a better team. He said it in his own word. I don't know. He contradicted himself. Which one is it, Stephen A.? Do you like it or do you not like it? I don't understand.
You know that, okay? I just don't see that happening in this particular situation, not because I don't believe in his talents. It's just that in this situation, I don't think it's a good one. But I understand they were willing to sit up there and trade for him. He could obviously get his money. The Clippers, by the way, wouldn't step up and give him kind of things he wanted. That's why he ended up in Golden State, from what I'm hearing. I just don't like it from a basketball standpoint. I truly don't.
I like it. Like I said, I think it's a good move for Golden State. It's not really a lot of options out there. It's going to make them better. It's a way better fit for them than Jordan Poole to win right now. I like the trade.